So we are getting into our grand finals. We have our best of 5, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player representing Stouty Bulls. It is YoungYakov. And I'll fix up the names in the intro. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'll fix them up. Whew, but here we go. We have our best of 5. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is time to gamba. Predictions. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our initial best of 5. Best of luck. Best of luck with those predictions. Good luck. Good luck. Oh, but here we go. Here we go. We have our best of 5. We have our initial matchup. Likewise, welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a smaller map, a shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression is typically favored on a map like this, and we'll see how aggressive our players plan on being here. Likewise, I did mention previously, I haven't really experienced too much ZVT on the new PTR patch. Curious to see how this plays out and if we get to embrace some longer and later games. Now, when it comes to ZVT, when it comes to at least the current meta in the live version of the game, it's very common to go roach heavy, to open up roaches, to be more defensive, to build up into a faster hive, and to get into roach ultra tech, ideally, right? That's kind of like the win condition, and it's easier to achieve that on some of these larger maps. On a smaller map, roach openers and roach play is still very common, just to keep you safe, just to survive early on, to build on up. Due to the changes of the Baneling and due to the changes of the Spire as well, Ling Bane play is still an option, but I feel like we see a lot of roach play here out of YoungYakov. We'll see if that's going to be the case, as it's going to be hatch into a pool into a delayed gas. So a later gas geyser out of YoungYakov. We'll see if he does skip link speed or just gets it later on. We'll see. As we are going to be opening up. Hello. Okay, it is going to be a Reaper first into our CC on low ground. We have our reactor on the way. Curious to see what the follow-up is going to be here from ByuN as he does move out across the map. And does scout for any early tech, any early aggression. Yakov does lay his third. Okay, so delayed third expansion out of YoungYakov. With the delayed third base, we could end up seeing our Zerg player here. We mentioned Roach play earlier. We could even see fast layer tech as well. I feel like if it was going to be fast layer, we would have gone for an earlier. No, we can still go with this gas timing, I suppose. We'll see. Reaper is going to be zoned away. We have the resources for link speed. As that is going to be 2 drones going down already. Oh my god. 2 drones going down and a Zergling. Very nice damage so far here with the Reaper. And link speed is on the way. So we're not skipping link speed. We're pulling out of gas. There's no fast tech. But Yakov is stuck on 2 bases. Stuck on 2 bases. He's contained. Behind this, we have a 1-1-1 follow-up. A hyper aggression here by ByuN. Okay. Well, I say hyper aggression, like, I don't know if I have to change my perspective on the PTR due to the economic changes, but typically we'd be expecting a third CC by now. Instead, Starport, much more committed, much more aggressive, delayed expansion, much more, again, just aggressive here from ByuN. So I'll fix up the player name. Opening up reactor to Hellion Banshee. Meanwhile, 2 base lair. Okay, there we go. We have confirmation. Again, based on the 2 base opener, there was a higher chance it was going to be 2 base lair. I thought it might have been lair before speed, but it's going to be speed after lair. So it's going to be lair after speed. Catching up the Overlord. YoungYakov is contained on 2 bases. ByuN is rotating, just ensuring there is no third expansion. We're going for a Baneling. Wait, what? We're going for a Baneling nest. That I was not expecting. Okay. Are we going into 2 base muta? Hellions, they avoid the surround. And nice trades, nice pickups. They confirm the Baneling Nest, which is very abnormal. And it is 2 base Muta. And again, all the gas have been scattered as well. So ByuN, he doesn't get into the main base, he doesn't scout the Spire, but he can assume what's going on. Like, he can make an educated guess it is going to be 2 base Muta here. Banshee's moving in. Have a Bio follow-up. And we'll see what the Mutas can get done. Now, thankfully, due to all his Hellions going down, there is nothing on the ground here to defend. Yeah, Marines are stuck on the ramp. Does snipe the depot. Banshee does hit the natural. No Spore. Oh, no Spore in position. Ay. 4 or 5 drones going down. This is critical damage. Critical damage being dealt here early on. Getting up to 6, getting up to 7. 7 drone kills. Banshee does move into the main, and the Banshee sees everything. Confirms the Spire. And now you have confirmation. And still more damage. Again, no Spores in the main or the natural. Yakov getting punished. And with that, Yakov, he stumbles his way into the mid game. Stumbles his way in. Muta production has begun. ByuN, of course, is fully aware. So where are the mutas? Second Banshee moves in, so it's still popping up. 6 drone kills. Critical damage. And now we're moving out. Back at home, turret's already on the way. We have Marines amassing as well. Stim is already done, so plenty of anti-air. There is a world where mutas can maybe bypass the army, which is we're already just pushing out. Oh my god. We just commit. So there are 0 Zerglings out right now. There's 2 Banelings on the way. And ByuN, I think he might even just be able to break the natural, but he does settle for the 3rd. Settles for the 3rd base. Forcing Yakov to come to him. Does force the Zerg out. Nice kiting here by ByuN, pushing or pulling off a creep. Does back off. Forcing YoungYakov to respond. Does force a response. Behind this, ByuN still reinforcing as well. Yeah, moving out on the wave. Oh, almost gets caught out. Oof, almost. He can focus on the Banelings. Gets 1, gets 2. Both Banelings do fall. We have more reinforcements coming in, more Marines, and with that, ByuN, he will overwhelm. He breaks down all the Lings, all the Banes. Doesn't get on top of the mutas, not yet. ByuN still rallying. Yakov trying to catch reinforcements, trying to at least. And what is there on the ground? We have 2 Banelings. 2 Banelings. Oh, sorry, getting up to 4. My apologies. Getting up to 4 Banelings. And more on the way. As Yakov is being pinned down, ByuN does expand, claiming his 3rd. Same as 3rd base. So far, plenty of Marines here to defend. Mutas, they're going to be shut down. Losing 1, losing 2. And 2 mutas do fall. Some expensive losses here for YoungYakov. Speaking of expensive, YoungYakov is down in workers as well. Does come in for the surround though. Does collapse on the tank. Yeah, tank goes down. Nice pickoff. It does take down the tank here, and YoungYakov is barely holding up, but the economy is my big concern. You can see here 47 drones, barely an economy for YoungYakov. Ay. So he does survive, he does holds, but behind this, ByuN is getting further ahead. He's just getting further ahead, building up a larger force, now switching out a tank into mass widow mine. +2 is on the way, still building up his bio army. He did preserve most of his Marines. So a very strong position here for ByuN. Oof. Massive mine shot to the face. Muta's going to be zoned away. And ByuN can just soon, so he can just soon just A move. He can soon just A move. We have 4 banelings. Let's go. It's gonna be 7. ByuN does rotate. So far, again, ByuN's been playing it very safe. He's been respecting the creep quite a bit, respecting all these banelings. He should deny the expansion at the same time. Link counterattack where there are plenty of reinforcements back at home. Shows a mind shot. Oh, okay, nice splits, nice surround. Link's a move in. ByuN, he does kill the expansion. That's a kill, not a cancel. But SCV's gonna be falling. Not bad. 2, 3 SCV kills, we get some economic damage. That's a lot of Zerglings being thrown away. Yeah, a lot of Zerglings going down. And soon ByuN is going to max. He's almost maxed out. Now pushing further in. Is he looking? Oh no! Oh my god, yeah, lane reaction. Lane pickup, does pull away. Oh my god, brutal mine shots. Brutal connections, and ByuN is going to keep pushing. It's just going to keep rallying. Yakov has been trading water for the past, what, 5 minutes, 6 minutes? It's been brutal. Been shredding water, and he has been able to survive, but at no point here does he ever really have any momentum. The economy is still lacking here for YoungYakov from the beginning. He was stuck on 2 bases, late 3rd, late 4th, I mean non-existent 4th base, I should add at that. Late 3rd, no 4th, no drones, no economy. Mutas, they never pay for themselves. And a lot of this just came down to the scouting early on. Remember, ByuN scouted. He was able to confirm, he punished, killed a bunch of workers early on with the Banshees, and got a full scout. And that's the risk you take when you go into Muta play. Is the risk you take. Oof. As ByuN is maxed. ByuN is maxed out. He's been able to push for quite some time, but he's just been playing it very safe. Very safe. Calming down. Now moving out, getting on top of the would-be 5th base. Mutas, they attempt to flank. Bane's just trying to collapse in. Lack of splits. Yeah, lack of splits. Despite that, oh my god, the Thor's A tank. Thor's A tank every single baneling. GG gets called, and ByuN takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, ByuN, he had a late reaction to the Ling Bane. He had a very frazzled response there, but at the same time, Banelings, they only connected with Thors. Thors, they tanked all the Banelings. GG, well played. ByuN, I mean, again, leading up to that point, YoungYakov, he had a worse economy the entire game. He stumbled his way into the early game, into the mid game. It was just treading water the entire time. Just a very rough start with that. GG. GG, well played. Now we're loading into game 2, and we'll see if YoungYakov can have a much more secure early game here. We'll see how he opens up, but going into Muta play is always risky, though. It's always risky. Rushing into 2-base Muta, and Yakov was punished for it. He was punished. One day I want to hear a situation where the losses are cheap. That's happened before. That's we talk about it all the time when it comes to TVP. In late game PvT, Protoss players, they often have cheap losses as they typically lose only gateway units, referring to like a maxed out death bull of an army with a superior kind of map control, map presence. We often say that they do have cheap losses and very affordable losses. It does happen, just in other matchups. Other matchups. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shelf Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue historic player representing Stouty Bulls. It is YoungYakov. So, let us go. So settling into game number 2. ByuN is Zerg. For those who are curious, ByuN on the PTR is a barcode. You can see here. He has Clan ByuN, but he has a barcode on his accounts. That's why I have to manually change the name. Otherwise, as you can see on the UI, just under the tuna, ByuN is a barcode. Then bam, he has a name. So that is done manually. So depending on spawn location, I have to activate, deactivate, mix that around. But it's all good. It's all good. That's why it might say the incorrect name at the start of the game, as depends on where ByuN spawns. But here we go. For now, once again, delayed gas opener, hatch pool opener here by YoungYakov. Last game, as a reminder, Yakov, he did go link speed into fast layer on 2 bases, into a delayed third, into 2 base muta, which was a very bold move to go for on Ruby Rock. He got scouted, he got punished, and in the end, Yakov got shut down. We'll see how he will adjust coming into a larger map like Title Citadel. Yo, meanwhile, a big shout to No Screen in the chat. Baby guy, Esther, No Screen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime for a year, 12 months of support, baby. Ay. Gracias, baby. Gracias. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. As we settle into our grand finals here, into our best of 5, here we have ByuN going CC first. Hyper greed out of ByuN, going for the faster command center, going for a delayed Rax. Meanwhile, Yakov is scanning for proxies, checking the nearby locations. Behind this, going into his own standard opener here again. Later gas geyser, earlier pool, and we'll see what we can achieve here with these early lings. As the CC's already done, we have our initial Marines on the way. No Reapers here by ByuN. Cutting a lot of corners. Very greedy play here by a Terran, and he should get away with it. He should get away with it. Lings are moving out. Is the stream on YouTube as well? Yes. We do stream all of our live broadcasts on Twitch and YouTube and on Facebook and on Kick and on Soup. All the platforms. We're all over the place. Just as a heads up. So the VOD is available on YouTube immediately after. Likewise, eventually gets uploaded on a series basis as well, a little bit later. As once again, ByuN does open up with a 1-1-1, so a much greedier start here by ByuN, going CC first into a faster orbital, into faster worker production, into the same follow-up here, 1-1-1, a more aggressive follow-up, leading into most likely reactor to Hellion Banshee. We'll see if ByuN does mix this up, but regardless, ByuN is delaying his 3rd CC. Meanwhile, I'm getting deja vu. In game 1, ByuN went for a 2-base opener, 1-1-1 into reactor Hellion Banshee, and Yakov went 2-base muta. This is 2-base muta again. All 4 gases are being taken, layer is on the way, no 3rd expansion in sight, 2-base muta. Meanwhile, ByuN does not add on swap. Interesting. No add-on swap here, no tech lab either. He's going for a reacted Marine into an early medevac push. This is going to be a very early timing here by ByuN. It's going to be hitting very early on without stim. No stim. These are vanilla Marines, but because it's hitting so early, there's not much to defend. There's going to be 2 queens, a handful of zerglings. We do have a very fast Bailey nest, but that's not going to help here, not this early on. Hellions get spotted. Medevac's boosting in. Queens are amassing. We have what? 3? 4. We have 4 queens. 1's in the main. But the army doesn't come together. Okay, Hellions at the natural. Marines in the main base. Forced to pick up. Applying pressure at the 3rd. Hellions deflected by the queens so far. Nice defense here by YoungYakov. Very nice. We will still lose the 3rd. We'll lose the expansion. ByuN goes further in. He has yet to scout the tech. Spires behind the main. And layers at the natural. So ByuN is still a little bit playing, he's still playing blind, somewhat. Still playing blind. Hellions are getting called out. And nice cleanup here. Now, ByuN, what he does know is that there's no third. So there's a very high chances 2-base layer. There's a very high chances 2-base muta. He hasn't scouted or confirmed, but he can assume, as he does check the main, he does see the gases. And Marines, they break further in. Cleans up all the Zerglings, getting us over the Queens as well. ByuN, he didn't scout the natural base. He's checking behind the main. He's so close to the spire. Oh no! And catching out 3, 4, 5 drones. Marines, they dive in, they scout the lair. And ByuN should know now. ByuN, he confirms all 4 gases. That's going to be 6, 7 drones going down. 8 drones falling. Confirms the spire. We have 8 mutas on the way. And once again, YoungYakov is stumbling his way into the early to mid game here. Yakov, he will clean this up, but this is paid for itself. This is paid for itself. 10 drone kills, 33 lings as well. Full scouting information, cancelled third expansion. The third base just now finishing, 7 minutes in. Fun fact, we already have an orbital. ByuN already has an orbital base, already floating over and already miles ahead economically. He's up in workers plus mules. So ByuN has a stronger economy. These mutas have a lot of work to do. They got a lot of work to do. Marines, they drop into the main. They jump into the main base. Oh no, the Queens! The Queens, they body block those Zerglings. That's 1 Queen going down. No transfuse. No transfuse. And we're getting out of hand here. Busting into the mineral line. Queen goes down. Spore as well. The drones, no, they go through the Marines. Mutas are racing back home to defend. And that is 13 drone kills. We can even go for the Spire. Critical damage. Critical damage here. The Spire, it may just go down. It may and it will. Trades with the Zerglings first. Cleans them all up. You can always focus on the Spire towards the end, and he should. We're gonna focus on the Spire. We're gonna. Oh my god! He just fights the mutas. He just wins the fight. GG. GG, and ByuN, he will claim the game and take a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Oh my god! Calm down, Bappy. Calm down. I was like, oh, he's gonna kill the Spire, and then Lings move in. It's like, oh, okay, I guess we'll kill the Zerglings first, and then kill the Spire, and then the mutas show up. It's like, oh, I guess we'll just killed the mutas, and then he just killed everything. He just man with gun is pretty good. He just fights the lings, fights the mutas, didn't even kill the Spire, didn't need to, just kills everything. GG. GG, well played with that. ByuN, who will claim a 2-0 lead in the series. We're loading to game 3. Winding it back once again, we saw 2-base muta here out of YoungYakov, but I feel like I would still stand by the fact that going into 2-base muta here is heavily reliant on keeping that tech hidden and catching your opponent off guard. Both games, ByuN has been able to scout and confirm, and at times didn't even confirm the scout itself, but the fact that there is no third expansion does kind of does telegraph what you're going for well ahead of time as well. So every game here, ByuN has been able to punish said attempted 2-base muta, and it has not been working out quite well here for YoungYakov. We'll see if we adjust coming into game 3. I hope we do. I hope we see something different here at Yakov. But the pressure is on, because spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of White Rabbit, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify up to 0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, top right-hand corner, we have the Blue Zerg player, himself representing Stony Bulls. It is YoungYakov. Ay. Here we go. We're getting into game 3 here, and again, we're hoping for some variance or some diversity here out of YoungYakov. Non-stop 2-base muta here is running into a brick wall that is ByuN, and we'll see if YoungYakov does adjust his build of choice. We'll see. As well in White Rabbit is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Larger map, longer rush distance by grounds. With this, the bases are very spread out if we get into a longer game. That's a big if though, because we haven't really experienced much mid-game. The game has lasted to the point where we're fighting for 4 bases, that is true, but by no means has YoungYakov ever had a stable economy and a stable early to mid game. It just hasn't happened yet this series. Hasn't happened. As Yakov is opening up with a hatch pull. Once again, later gases. So far, same opener out of YoungYakov every game. So far. Just catching up. As we are going to be opening up here when it comes to White Rabbits, and again, I'm hoping for at least some Roach heavy play. We actually started the series talking about Roaches, if you remember, how it is safer, especially on larger maps, to go for Roach Warren into Roach heavy play, into a safer early to mid game, building up into 3 bases. I'm a little bit surprised that Yakov didn't embrace that, especially on the smaller maps. Now that we're loading into a larger map, out of context, like in a vacuum, I wouldn't be opposed to 2-base Muta, but because of how the series has panned out, like, I'm hoping we don't see that. I mean, we're done with the Mutas, Pappy. We gotta get out of there. Show us something else. Not again, Pappy, not again. As this time, ByuN does go for a standard opener, opening up Reaper, but look at the follow-up here. ByuN mixing things up, going for a second rack, setting up for a 2-on-1. If not even 3 racks. Oh, 3 racks. Okay, ByuN, going for 3 racks. Let's go. This is typically a TVP build. You see this a lot against Protoss. It is a rare build against Zerg. But essentially what's occurring here, we are fixating and building up a heavy bio army into a stim timing. And usually the stim timing hits at around 530 with 16 Marines and 2 medevacs. But here there's going to be an excess of bio, an excess of Marines instead, more than usual. Due to the 3rd racks and due to the delay on the factory and starport. So this can hit very hard. I say you can, it will hit hard. And fun fact, if YoungYakov goes into 2-base Muta again, he will just die. He's pulling out of gas though. He's pulling out of gas, he's joining. Let's go, 3rd base is on the way. Still a delayed 3rd expansion. Ooh, the tumor goes down, but this time we're not staying on 2 bases. This time we're not going into lair tech. Not this time. As the Overlord is going to get caught out. Nice catch, supply blocking YoungYakov. Cheeky moves out of ByuN to lift his CC. Just for that high ground vision. And again, now without that Overlord, 0 scouting information. Right? So there's no secondary Overlord to go in. Ling should never get up this ramp. And Yakov will never confirm what's going on. Seeing a Marine count this high this early on, especially because we're hiding the rest, this looks like a 2-on-1. Right? Like we have not yet revealed our hand. ByuN is keeping his cards close to the chest. Yakov is not aware. Oh boy. It's going to be a 443-ish lair timing. So lair first. Lair first into what should be a safety Baneling Nest. Yes, safety Baneling Nest here behind this. Delayed Evo chambers, delayed upgrades. Here comes the move outs. And Yakov will spot this. He will spot the push. He knows. And we need Zerglings. We need Lings, we need Queens. We have 5 Queens so far, soon to be 6. And we need to mass up as many Zerglings as possible. Yeah, 10 Lings on the way, the Queens they push forward. Again, just nice scouting. And we'll see if ByuN commits. He may choose to back off. So far, shaves off a handful of Zerglings. Does what the Queens he sims. Yeah, sims in. He wants a Queen. And he does get, oh, barely one. No, Clutch Transfuse. Yeah, Clutch Transfuse. Lings are going down though. Queens are exposed. And he breaks through. Breaks through. 1, 2, 3, all the Queens will fall, and with that ByuN has done it. ByuN, he has broken YoungYakov, and we're not going to embrace the mid game at all here as drones are going down. The defenses have been broken. We have Lings trickling in, but it's not going to be enough. Not like this. I might barely be enough, but yeah, GG. GG gets called. ByuN will claim the series 3-0, becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. Unfortunately, YoungYakov, again, he wasn't able to scout. He lost the Overlord across the map. He wasn't able to confirm the commitment into mass bio. We saw YoungYakov go lair first as well, building up. He eventually saw what was going on. He saw the army coming across the map, but he had a limited time to react and to respond. Likewise, limited larva as well, as we had a later 3rd expansion, and with that, he was broken. He was broken then and there. GG, well played. Again, a very... I will say a little bit more one-sided of a finals, but a lot of that came down to the attempted 2-base Muta. We saw YoungYakov struggled to play two-base meter both in game 1 and game 2, and it was a struggle. Like it was it was brutal trying to make that work and trying to keep that hidden and trying to pull that off against ByuN. I do appreciate that we did mix things up here in game 3, but so did ByuN, right? ByuN, he also mixed things up as well. GG. GG, GG. GG well played. We'll see if ByuN has any thoughts on some of these games and on some of the PTR. Curious. I mentioned before that when it comes to the PTR, I've mainly been looking at Zerg and Protoss just because we've been seeing a lot more fixation, especially on like Protoss related matchups. I haven't actually seen too much of TvZ and TvP on the new PTR. It's only been 5 days, but I haven't experienced too much of it, so I'm curious if ByuN's been laddering actually. Has he? Let's have a look here. It looks like he was yesterday. Yesterday he was laddering a little bit. Oh look. Mid-game in my StarCraft 2. True. We never got there. But I'm asking ByuN to hear his thoughts and to hear maybe his experiences. I'm like, have you played much of the PTR? He's like, no. But I've been practicing optimizing my builds, my build orders. Okay. Asking him, do you have any thoughts on the economy changes? So early in the PTR, only 5 days. How's it feel? Baby? I'm curious. When it comes to the build orders and openers, we have seen things slow down a little bit when it comes to the early game. That is true. I did see someone in the chat mention earlier about Larva. And related to Zerg, it's important to bear in mind that that was specifically in regards to early all-ins and aggression. The fact that early aggressive options aren't as viable for Zerg just because of Larva limitations, but that's specifically in regards to being aggressive and going all-in and going for cheeses. That's not necessarily taking into consideration like standard play and more standard back and forth mid-game as well. But that's what that's in regards to, of course. So ByuN's thoughts are he's skeptical about the balance of the patch, but he does think it's necessary for a big change to happen, which I think I would agree with 100%. I think most people would agree with that they are looking for a bigger change. We spoke about this during the podcast on Friday about how right now a lot of matchups are very stale. Like ZVP is the biggest the biggest culprit of that when it comes to just how stagnant and stale the early game is, how it's just get expanded to Cybercore, into Stargate, into Third Base every game, Oracle Opener into Twilight Council from the side of Protoss, and there's nothing that Zerg can really do there. So like ZVP in like the main live version is very, very stale. When it comes to TvZ, recently there have been some developments in the game. TvP is also in a really rough place where you see nothing but all-ins, both for Terran versus Protoss and Zerg versus Protoss, where it's nothing but all-ins in those matchups and very little mid to late game. So I think a lot of people are looking for change, and we'll see. Yeah, and ByuN saying that Terran hasn't changed much. Like, that's true. This is why like I haven't been seeing or looking at or paying attention to many Terran matchups in the PTR, because Terran has changed the least. And he's like, yeah, Terran hasn't really changed much. Like it's mainly changes to Protoss and Zerg with this like balance patch. And ByuN is just expressing something that we've also heard quite a lot of when it comes to the PTR, and that is for the worker change to be happening at the same time as the gateway change as well. It seems pretty brutal for Protoss players because there's a lot to adapt to, right? You got to adapt to the change in the economy, but also a change to specifically the Protoss production as well, and that's just brutal having that layered on each other, which is something that a lot of people have been discussing, of course. ByuN just expressing that as well. True, true. And he's just saying that it's just hard to like judge balance because Protoss have a lot of relearning to do. So it's going to be a little bit shaky seeing the PvX matchups coming into these next like couple of weeks to see like, you know, how they settle and how they stabilize and where the meta leads us as well. For sure. For sure. But again, it's still early days of the PTR. It's been less than a week, but tournaments should be progressing. And when it comes to the upcoming tournament that we have next, it is going to be in around 12 hours time. Around 12 hours time, we have the PTR Cup. PTR Cup is at a much more... Hold on, let me just quickly switch to our schedule here. The PTR Cup is going to be at a much more friendly NA and Korean time. That's going to be in around 12 hours here. You can see Wednesday morning. Bam, we can see on the calendar. So Wednesday morning is going to be PTR Cup. That's also going to be in the PTR. And expect to see players like ByuN, Hero, Classic, a lot of the Koreans, and some Europeans that stay up late at night as well. So we should be seeing another PTR tournament tomorrow. And hopefully we get to experience a little bit more of this and sink our teeth a little bit further into it as well. Again, it's a good thing that we're forcing all these players to play on the PTR. Ideally, we gather feedback and we can give said feedback and hopefully some changes when it comes to the PTR as well. There's been a lot of discussions going on about the economy, whether you're for it, whether you're against it. What personally I do appreciate is that there's a lot of discussion going on, and I'm hoping that, again, if the economic changes don't really achieve what we want in the game, I'm hoping that these discussions do bring forth a solution to that, because I think what we mostly want, or at least what I mostly want, isn't necessarily a reversion, but like something to address the issue, which is diversity, early game aggression, the staleness of like the current early to mid game in PvX matchups, for example. And I think that there are some interesting ideas being floated around, but there's no unifying like consensus yet as to what would be like potentially a better change if we didn't have the worker change, but something else to move forward in regards to like macro, in regards to I know there's a lot of discussion regarding or trying to address macro mechanics, so specifically targeting like mules, chrono boosts, and inject larva. I know there's some discussion referring to maybe changing or even removing that. There's other discussions about obviously worker starts. Other discussions about I know that I know that Ravi was floating around certain ideas, some certain wild ideas about that as well. Este Ravi, it's hard to much love to Fear Dragon. I think he was proposing like, what if we moved the bases further away from the mineral patches to make it longer to mine, basically. No, he was like floating that idea around. He was also floating around the idea of worker collision, where workers they right now workers they pass through each other, and the idea of having worker collision instead to also like slow down mining and disrupt the economy. The most obvious downside to that, of course, is that does make worker defense much more difficult. Like, because imagine if a Widowmine drop comes in and you're a Protoss and you have to split against the Widowmine drop. Like, you have all the probes like bouncing off each other as you try to pull away. It's like I'm not for that idea as a solution, but like there are some other like quirky ideas that are floating around to try to achieve the same thing in a different way in regards to like lowering the worker count. But I appreciate that there are ideas out there regardless. Oof. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the PTR Cup for some more PTR tournaments, or tomorrow evening for the podcast. We also have the Amantes, the StarCraft, Wardy TV Mondays as well. When it comes to what if any an iPool? Yeah. Like worker collision, I don't think is the way to go for the for sure. But when it comes to the WTC Monday broadcast, we did fall behind in them, and we want to try to catch up before the patch goes live. We got a backlog of WTC Mondays, so we got to burn through them as quickly as possible. We have the GSL finals over the weekend. We have Kung Fu Cup on Friday and StarCraft Evolution League on Saturday. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. We'll see you guys next time. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments, or you can support us via donations or tips. Right now, we have had some things occur IRL regarding our pet bunnies, and if you want to help out when it comes to the vet fund, then you can do so there. Otherwise, we appreciate the support. We'll see you guys tomorrow for ByuN Cup or for the podcast. Until then, thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of StarCraft. Check out more of the PTR, explore the changes, explore maybe even some solutions, some things to bring up as well when it comes to maybe things that are not working as intended, or some other ideas. Now would be the time, because it's a pretty crazy patch. The fact that they're changing so much, I would say it's a good thing. What is going to be changed though, we'll see, yet to be determined. Regardless, we'll see you guys tomorrow for some ByuN Cup action. See you then. See you tomorrow. Until then, ciao, bye, ciao. Congratulations to ByuN, of course, for becoming our champion, and we'll see you guys next time. Till then, hasta luego.